How often should I replace my toothbrush? We throw out and replace expired milk, bread, and many other stuff with the new one. But when was the last time you replaced your toothbrush? We all know that brushing our teeth is an essential part of maintaining good oral hygiene. But have you ever wondered how often should you replace your toothbrush? To ensure that your toothbrush can maximize how much bacteria it can remove and make every tooth brushing session worth your time, you should learn when is the right time to replace your toothbrush. Unfortunately, it's not always easy to tell when you need to replace your toothbrush, but there are some common signs indicating that it is time for a new one. In this video, we will explore the importance of replacing your toothbrush, when you should replace your toothbrush, what happens if you don't replace your toothbrush, and how often you should replace your toothbrush. Why should you replace your toothbrush? It is widely known that regular brushing your teeth is one of the most fundamental and critical measures for maintaining good oral hygiene. However, using an old, worn-out toothbrush can do more harm than good. Here are 2 reasons why you should replace your toothbrush often. 1. Toothbrush bristle get worn down. As you use your toothbrush twice a day to brush your teeth, the bristle fiber are gradually worn down by the hard surface of your teeth, which can cause them to become rough and less effective at cleaning. 2. Too much bacteria accumulate on your toothbrush. The warm and moist environment on the bristle is an ideal breeding ground for bacteria. Even with regular rinsing, some bacteria can still linger on the bristle, leading to an excessive accumulation. By replacing your toothbrush regularly, you will be able to maintain better oral health. Using a worn-out toothbrush won't effectively clean your teeth and gum, leaving behind bacteria and plaque. As a result, this can lead to various oral health issues such as tooth decay, gum disease, and other oral health problems. Many studies have indicated that a new toothbrush can remove more plaque compared to a worn-out one. Therefore, when you begin brushing your teeth, ask yourself if your toothbrush is working its hardest to help your teeth clean or whether it is time to switch to a new one. Tip: rinse your toothbrush with water after each use to minimize the amount of residual and bacteria that accumulate on your toothbrush. Summary: it is important to replace your toothbrush once the bristles start to fray, which typically happens after 2 to 3 months of regular use. Replacing your toothbrush regularly not only helps prevent bacteria buildup on the bristle, but also maximizing your toothbrush cleaning capability. When should you replace your toothbrush? When it comes to replacing your toothbrush, there isn't a strict rule about how often this should happen. The frequency of replacement depends on various factors, such as the type of toothbrush you use and how often you use it. By prioritizing your oral hygiene and replacing your toothbrush regularly, you will be able to maintain good oral health and overall wellness. Here are 5 signs that indicate you need to replace your toothbrush. 1. The bristles are worn out. One of the easiest ways to tell if it is time to replace your toothbrush is by looking at the bristle. If they are frayed, then it's time to replace your toothbrush. Worn out bristles won't effectively clean your teeth and gum, leaving behind bacteria and plaque. 2. Discoloration or bad smell. If your toothbrush had a strange smell or changed color, it is a sign that it had bacteria and needs to be replaced. You don't want to put bacteria back into your mouth every time you brush, right? 3. After you've been sick. This is because bacteria and virus can linger on the bristle of your toothbrush, which can lead to reinfection. Therefore, make sure to replace your toothbrush once you have fully recovered to prevent this from happening again. 4. After sharing your toothbrush. Sharing your toothbrush can lead to cross-contamination. For example, if one person had gum disease, the bacteria responsible for this condition can easily spread and accumulate on your toothbrush. So you should never share your toothbrush with anyone. 5. Every 3 months. Toothbrush bristles become frayed and worn out over time, making them less effective at removing plaque and bacteria from your teeth and gum. It is always better to be cautious and replace your toothbrush every 3 months to ensure you use a clean and effective toothbrush. Tip: if you are not using a particular toothbrush daily, for example, just on work trip, dentists also recommend you replace it every 6 months. If your toothbrush looks worn out, or its color is fading or turning darker than usual, it's time to get a new one. Don't worry, this doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. It simply means that your toothbrush is no longer as effective at cleaning your teeth, and a new toothbrush with fresh bristle will do a better job. Summary: you should pay particular attention to the condition of the bristle on your toothbrush. If the bristle of your toothbrush are worn out, fan out, or frayed, or especially if you see dark color change, which is a sign of mold, then it is time to replace your toothbrush with the new one. Also, consider replacing a new toothbrush sooner if someone in your house is sick or using your toothbrush to prevent the bacteria from spreading. What happens if you don't replace your toothbrush often enough? Here a fun, unhealthy fact. Keith Alberman, a New York City dentist, had said that many of his patients never change their toothbrush unless he hands them a new one. A toothbrush with worn bristle won't clean as well as a new one. And because of this, you're going to face the risk of damaging your gum or the risk of causing your teeth to fall out. Yes, it can be even more serious than just bad breath problem. Summary: if you don't replace your toothbrush often enough, the toothbrush bristle will start to have bacteria and fungus living on it. On top of that, there are other risks and uninviting issues involved with not replacing your toothbrush. How often should you replace your toothbrush? Studies have found that around 2 to 3 months is when the bristle breaks down and loses effectiveness. A toothbrush can physically last for a while, but that doesn't mean you should use it until it's falling apart. How often you do it depends on a few factors. How often do you brush your teeth? How do you use your toothbrush? Easy or excessively hard? Do you use that toothbrush to brush your teeth twice a day or just on work trip? Do you use a manual or an electric toothbrush? How often you should replace your toothbrush depends on how well you're taking care of it. Most dentists and the American Dental Association recommend replacing your toothbrush every 3 months or sooner if the bristle are frayed. Summary: the American Dental Association recommends replacing your toothbrush every 3 months or when the bristle becomes worn down or frayed. And if you don't feel good about throwing away a plastic toothbrush 4 to 5 times per year, we recommend you to look into other options like bamboo toothbrush that are more eco-friendly and will break down naturally. Quick takeaway: with all the information provided in this video, it should be easy to figure out when you need a new toothbrush. If you want to keep your teeth healthy and clean, the American Dental Association recommends replace your toothbrush every 3 months. Again, to ensure that the bristle remain effective and to minimize the accumulation of bacteria on your toothbrush, some dentists even suggest you to replace your toothbrush every 1 to 2 months for optimal dental hygiene.